Hey Internet, James here with another set of satisfying stories. I have 3 stories of insane customers for you today. Our first story is about a customer flipping out after a worker from another store refuses to help them. Our second story is about a school employee that just can't follow instructions. And the final story of today will be about a customer demanding that a young girl model clothes for her. So let's get started. Lady tried to get me fired for not helping her at another store? A story by Miss Love. I work at an electronics store. In this store, we have a customer that up until this point has been a blast to help. I've been helping this lady multiple times and she's never given me any issues. One time, I was out shopping for groceries for a party and I was kind of busy. Now, this is a big store that just happens to have an electronic department. The lady I've been helping multiple times at my store was also in this store shopping for electronics. When I walked by, she noticed me and waved me over. She then asked me which of these phones she should get. As I said, I was busy, so I kindly said, "I'm sorry ma'am, I don't work here. There's an employee right over there and I'm sure he will be more than happy to help you." She did not accept this answer. "I know where you work, and I know that you're good at all this electronic stuff, and it shouldn't be a big hassle for you to help me." This kinda took me by surprise, since this lady has always been nice to me. I told her, I'm sorry ma'am, but I'm in a hurry and I need to get going. Please ask the employee of this store for help, or come into my store tomorrow if you insist on me helping you." She then gave me a look that could kill, and I walked away. The next day I come into work to the sight of this lady screaming at my manager. She demanded that he fire me because I was very rude to her and refused to help her. My manager called me over and asked me to explain what happened. I told my manager about the incident at the other store. My manager then looked at the lady and said, "I'm sorry ma'am, but my employee is not obligated to help you at other stores or if he's off the clock. This employee has a great reputation in this store and he would never be rude to any customers." The lady got as red as a tomato and then angrily stormed out of the store. Both my manager and I thought that would be it with her, but nope. A few hours later, she comes back into the store with every single product I had ever sold her, and she demanded a refund. She yelled at my manager, "I refuse to support a store with such bad customer service." My manager then tried to explain that a refund would not be possible since store policy clearly stated that all refunds may only happen within 30 days in an unopened state or if the product is faulty. But since most of our products are quite expensive, most of the faulty products get sent in for service and not refunded. The woman kept screaming at my manager and demanding a refund, but without luck. After about 10 minutes of screaming, my manager called security to escort the lady out of the store. We then all thought we were done with her, but again, nope. After a bit, she came back in with 2 police officers pretending that she got assaulted by security. We kindly explained to the officers what happened. The officers looked very annoyed at the lady, and then one of the officers said, "Ma'am, you're going to need to come with us." The officers escorted the lady out of the store, and I haven't seen her since. Wow, if you're going to go full bat crap crazy, you might as well go all in. The false police report just takes this one over the top for me. I imagine the lady bringing back a shopping cart just full of electronics, no boxes, no receipts, and just leaving, that sense of sanity and well-being right there in the door on the outside. So, she was a bit nuts. I really seriously don't understand people sometimes. Okay, let's move on to the next story. Can't follow directions? Okay, no refund then. A story by Katie Cakes Inc. So this happened several years ago. I spent 8+ years working in a craft store and I have a ton of crazy stories. Crafters are savages. This story took place in early September. I was a customer experience manager, and it was about mid-afternoon, and I was training a new cashier in preparation for the holiday season. This woman comes in, mid-40s, brown hair, face positively red with anger. She has 2 large garbage bags and storms over to the register. I instantly know that this is going to be bad, and I tell my new cashier to just watch and I'll deal with this. Now, one thing to know is that I am the bomb at customer service. My coworkers joke that I ate icing for breakfast to make me so cheerful. So this sourpuss wasn't gonna faze me. Before I can even greet her, she starts yelling, "You sold me defective aprons and I want a refund right now!" Me looking at the 2 bags on the ground full of aprons, all clearly coming apart at the seams and tattered to hell. "Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Do you have your receipt with you?" She then proceeds to slam down 2 receipts on the counter. One is our obnoxiously long receipt with easily 100 aprons on it. The other is a place I don't recognize. "Oh, this isn't one of our receipts. I don't need that." Customer reaching in the bag to yank out an apron points to the embroidered crew across the front. "That's the cost you owe me for the embroidery." I stared for a moment as she began to say she wanted her money back, free new aprons, the cost of the embroidery refunded, and for us to cover the cost of the new embroidery. Oh boy, this was gonna be fun. "I'm sorry, but we actually can't refund the embroidery. The best we can do is either do an exchange for new aprons or..." She cut me off screaming. I don't remember all of it, but it was something along the lines of that it was for a big school program and it isn't in the budget and that she was going to sue us. I just took a deep breath. "Okay, ma'am, how about we deal with the aprons first? Can you tell me what happened to them? When did they fall apart?" Now, I was figuring we'd do an exchange and either give her an additional store credit or maybe some sew-on lettering to help ease her anger. After all, good customer service is something I pride myself in. And if they were defective, it was our fault. Well, we just finished the first set of cooking classes, and I threw the aprons in the washing machine, and they came out like this, suddenly knowing exactly what happened. "Huh, I see. Hey, coworker, can you run and grab me the item off the shelf, please?" The woman continued raving while I took out an apron and looked at the tag. My coworker came cackling, and I flipped over the packaging. Aha! Pointing to both the label on her aprons and on the packaging for the sets of aprons. "Ma'am, these are hand wash only." "I know, but I have over 100 aprons. I don't have time for that." I stared, baffled, for a moment. "So, you knew before you threw them into the washing machine that they were hand wash only?" "Yes! As I said, I don't have time to hand wash them." "Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, but you knowingly didn't follow the washing directions. It's no wonder they fell apart. We won't be refunding you anything today." She proceeded to dump the aprons on the ground, throw a few at me, scream at the top of her lungs about suing us, boycotting our store, and something to the effect of, "You don't know who I am, I will destroy you," and left. We just gathered up the aprons and put them in the back in case she came back for them, so she wouldn't try to say we stole them from her. We never saw her again. Never got sued or boycotted. Still the wildest experience I ever had. I was taught at one of my first jobs that if you say anything with confidence, most people will accept what you say is true. This woman must have heard something similar, but apparently her version is if you bully people, you get your own way. She was so mad, and I'm guessing it's because she knew that she screwed up and was hoping to yell her way through it and distract the store worker from discovering the truth. Way to stand up to the bull in the china shop there, Katie. Way to go. And now for our final story of the day. Customer asks a 16-year-old to try on lingerie. A story by Ink 101. My little sister, I'll call her D for this story, just told me this story. It happened last week. D is 16. She was out shopping in a local department store when a random woman stops her and holds up a hanger with a lacy bra and panties up to D's front. D is obviously confused. "What the F, lady? What are you doing?" "Oh, don't worry. I won't be a minute." You don't just grab someone without asking. "Oh, it's okay. I'm a customer." "What?" "Well, I'm not sure if this will look good on me. Could you just put it on so I can see?" "What?" Just try it on. No! What do you mean, no? Put this on or I'll tell your manager you ain't doing your job. I don't even work here, and even if I did, what the F? What sort of crazy are you to think that it's okay to ask people to model lingerie for you? Oh, I'm going to find your manager and I'm going to get you fired for this. The rude woman storms off and reappears a minute later with a very confused looking store manager, shouting about rude service, unhelpful staff, reporting to trade standards, etc., etc. The manager explains that he has no idea who Dee is, that she obviously doesn't work there, etc., but the rude woman does not accept it and still demands that he fire my sister. The manager apparently ended the conversation with this: "Ma'am, I am so sorry that you're disappointed with the customer service, but asking a staff member to strip for you is entirely unacceptable. And even if this young lady was willing, I have doubts if it would be any use to you, as she lacks your particular build. None of our staff are quite as stout as you. As you are harassing our customers, I'm going to have to ask you to leave before I need to call security." The rude woman tosses the underwear at Dee and storms out, shouting at every customer she passes, telling them not to shop there, how the staff are terrible and won't do the smallest things to help customers. So, what can you really say about this one? I mean, other than I'm sure my fake southern accent is horrible, but come on, lady. I mean, I'm all about women wearing whatever they want, especially if it makes them feel good. But asking a complete stranger to basically act as a mirror for you, if you want to see how it looks, go try it on. Don't ask some random 16-year-old girl to do it for you. I just can't wrap my head around this one. Like, how... Did she think this was an appropriate request? Oh man, seriously, people make my head hurt sometimes. Well, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you've enjoyed your satisfying stories as much as I did reading them to you. As always, thanks for watching. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I appreciate you spending your time with me. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you know when the next video is available. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.